Hello, Shantanu.
Hello, sir.
Dr.
Sir,
Shantanu.
good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Sir. Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good.
Here. Hi, Uma.
Hi, hello.
Hi. Hi, Prashant.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Oh, you are in office or at home?
Oh,
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Professor Dinesh ji.
उमा जी नमस्कार.
namaskar.
Congratulations. मुझे तो आज ही पता चला दिनेश जी से बात हुई.
Thank you very
Heartiest
much.
congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
डीसी साहब ने ज्वाइन कर लिया है. सर नमस्कार सर. सर नमस्कार.
नमस्कार जी. नमस्कार.
नमस्कार सर.
सर 2 मिनट में शुरू करवाते हैं सर.
Good evening, Uma ma'am.
Yes,
Sir, congratulations, sir.
sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
We met some time back.
हाँ सर, आप इग्नो में प्रो वाइस चांसलर उमा कांजीलाल मैम.
हाँ, अच्छा.
मैडम
नमस्ते
कब
सर.
ज्वाइन किया आपने?
नमस्कार जी. जीवेश बंसल.
हाँ, नमस्ते सर.
Yes. It's a library in Punjab University. Yes. Yeah.
Good evening, Honourable sir. Congratulations.
सर नमस्कार सर, मैं लता सुरेश.
नमस्कार जी. नमस्कार.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर.
Good afternoon.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर.
Good afternoon.
सर डीन एकेडमिक संजीव जी हैं सर.
अच्छा.
नमस्कार सर.
नमस्कार जी. हाँ जी. आपसे
गुड
मुलाकात हुई.
आफ्टरनून सर. गुड आफ्टरनून सर.
गुड आफ्टरनून जी.
सर मैम डीन रिसर्च और डीन अप्लाइड साइंसेज एंड
अच्छा.
Interdisciplinary and applied sciences.
इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी एंड अप्लाइड साइंस.
Nice meeting you sir. Good afternoon sir.
Yeah, thank you.
सर
Good
आनंद शर्मा.
afternoon, Uma madam.
सर डॉक्टर आनंद शर्मा डीन बिजनेस स्टडीज एंड मैनेजमेंट स्टडीज.
Anand Sharma, direct, कौन से डीन?
Good afternoon, Dr. Taniara Ova.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dr. Tonia. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm glad to join you.
Yeah. Thank you. रेणु जी स्टार्ट करवाएं.
जी सर. So
Just
good
want to
afternoon.
check that I am connecting through my iPhone. I can't get connected in my laptop because it requires to have
some pre-installed software.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine, ma'am. Sir, Dinesh sir, shall we start?
Yes ma'am. Yes, yeah. Please.
Yes.
So good afternoon everyone, and as the whole learning community had joined, so let's start with the formal program. So as we all know, this COVID pandemic has introduced so many uncertainty in various dimensions of academics, including our higher education. And now we know that our own education leaders are grappling with the I think seemingly impossible dimensions and informed decisions about the health risk associated with in-person learning against the educational and socio-emotional needs of the students. So in that context, as we all know that we are living with this text since last 1 year And but in that context, our department library and has come forward as and started a wonderful program for the students. As we all know that learning outcome of the students has decreased due to this pandemic, but this department then idea where we are filling the program summer training in this innovative way. So first of all, let me congratulate department and Professor Dinesh, leading by Professor Dinesh Gupta, that their department is doing wonders in this dimension. So as we all know that, and they are promoting the techno-pedagogical interventions, which we all are talking about, that we should be ICT competent and we should integrate the techno-pedagogies in our curriculum. So in that context, this department is doing this webinar since July 1. And they have invited not only the national eminent scholars, rather internationally, globally, they have invited so many scholars and academicians that on one platform, and sure they have taken up the social media, which is generally considered as a, you can say, hindrance in the learning. They have used it in an appropriate way and make us learn that this can be used to promote learning as well. So with that context, I think now we should come up with the formal proceedings, and I will request the IT section to play the Saraswati Vandana, and I will request Chanchal to sing with it. Chanchal, Vida, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, bache. IT section, please play.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारे हारे धवे या शुभ्रवस्त्रारुता या वीणावरदण्डमितरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजाड्यापहा.
Thank you, Chanchal. Now I will request everyone to please stand up for the Pulgit. And I will request the IT section to play the Pulgit.
विद्याधनं सर्वधनं प्रधानमा न चोरहार्यं न च राजहार्यं न भातृभाजं न च भारिकारि वकृते वर्धते नित्यम् विद्याधनं सर्वधनं प्रधानम्. शिक्षा दीक्षा की परंपरा से राष्ट्र का हुआ सदा उत्थान. कौशल और नव सृजन से सजा हुआ गौरव अभियान,
सजा हुआ गौरव अभियान.
ज्ञान विज्ञान की शक्ति से हम नवमंडल में हुए स्थापित. सीखा है इतिहास से हमने नव तकनीकों में हुए समाहित, नव तकनीकों में हुए समाहित. सगम सानि पम गमरि सनि सनि संस्कारों की शक्ति को जब लिया है युवा ने पहचान, हम सब बने राष्ट्र के रक्षक. आओ करे नव भारत निर्माण. कर जिस धरा पर शौर्य करता शीश बलिदान।
अपनी मेहनत से माटी को सोना कर दे जहां किसान।
भारतीय धरा हरियाणा पर स्थापित अपना कुल महान। शिक्षा और स्वावलंबन आओ ऐसे कुल को करे प्रणाम, ऐसे कुल को करे प्रणाम, ऐसे कुल को करे प्रणाम।
Thank you so much, IT section. This was the beautiful Kulgeet of our university. It's in Hindi, so maybe Tonya can't understand it, but it's talking about that how this university has grown and how Haryana is a land of the farmers and where people do the hard work, and this institution is no doubt contributing in it. So that's a very small brief for you. Okay, now it's my pleasure to invite Professor Sanjeev Kumar, Dean Academics, for the formal welcome address. Professor Sanjeev.
Thanks, Dr. Renu. Honourable Vice Chancellor, Sir Professor Tankeshwar Kumarji, Chief Guest of today's event, that is International Webinar on Sustainable Library and Information Science Education, and also valedictory session of the summer training program on library sciences, Dr. Ms. Antonia Arahoa, and she happens to be President-elect of IFLA, International Federation of Library Associations. Guest of honor, Professor Dr. Uma Kanjilar, Pro Vice Chancellor, IGNOU, and also Professor J.P. Jurel, Director in FlipNet. Professor Dinesh Gupta ji, Director of the International Webinar and Dean Students Welfare of the University. Professor Neelam Sangwan ji, Dean Applied and Interdisciplinary Life Sciences. Professor Anand Sharma ji, Dean Business and Management Studies. All other deans and heads of departments, faculty participants, and participants from India and abroad. Entire organizing committee. I take this opportunity to welcome each one of you on this very important event being organized by Department of Library Information Sciences here. And I must share it with all the participants and guests, and of course our Honourable Vice Chancellor, that this department has always been a leading department in organizing all these extension activities in participation with national and international experts. And today we are fortunate enough to have Professor Tankeshwar ji to preside over the event, and of course Ms. Antonia Arahoa to be the chief guest of the event. Of course, we would look forward to the visit of the chief guest and of course guests of honor here on the campus with the right time to come. And then of course you will appreciate as to how much we have grown and of course how much we are contributing to quality education, research, extension, and other activities. We look forward to that day. But today, of course, on this academic event and valedictory session of this event, I, with folded hands, welcome you all to this international webinar. Welcome you.
Thank you so much, Professor Sanjeev. Now I will request Professor Dinesh Gupta, Dean Student Welfare and Head Department of Library and Information Sciences, for briefing everyone about the program. Professor Dinesh. You are muted, sir. Please unmute your side.
Thank you, Dr. Ranji. Really, it's a matter of great pleasure that we have a galaxy of eminent persons here this afternoon. We have our Honourable Vice Chancellor with us, who is showering blessings for all of us. We have Dr. Antonia Arahoa, the President-elect 21-23 of IFLA International, which is International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions, very prestigious organization in our field. I think you can say it is an apex body for LIS professionals. Also, Professor J.P. Singh Durelsi, he will be joining very soon. I hope I've just got his call right now. So he's joining within a couple of minutes. And Professor Uma Kanjilalji, madam, who is Pro Vice Chancellor at IGNOU, and so guest of honor today with us. So really, it's a matter of great pleasure that you all are with us for this celebrating the valedictory session as well as this international webinar on sustainable LIS education. Apart from our guests, we have deans, head of the departments, faculty members, officers, and staff of the university. Last not but the least, for students who are actively involved in many activities, and they have proved that how learning can take place in pandemic situations. And last but not least, again, the contributors, the speakers who participated in this whole month from the prestigious institutions of the country and also from Europe and America, who shared their experiences, their knowledge, their wisdom with our students in very close group and very silently, you can say, within the group. Otherwise, outside it was very loud. So, on behalf of the Department of Library and Information Science, and also on behalf of my own, I heartily welcome our Vice Chancellor, sir, the President IFLA elect, Dr. Antonia, Professor Jurel, sir, Professor Uma ma'am, in this webinar. Renuji, although you have covered a lot very nicely about the reasons this program is being organized, but just to share with you that this is our you all that this is our second time that we are organizing such program. Last year also we organized this such program. Again, it was 1 month full program, and basically I want to explain why this program is important to us, because as per our master's program syllabus, there is a provision of 1 month practical training in a library, and last year it was almost lockdown in all parts of the country, and this time again libraries are not open for the public and students as well. So we organize in a different way, and it has been, I feel, successful then visiting libraries and conducting this program over there. Maybe we have to think and maybe we can make it regular kind of program. Just to share with you this program for this year, we started from July 1st, and we began with brainstorming session with all the students and faculty members, and we put complete 3 days on brainstorming, what to do, how to do, and when to do, and who will do. So it was very clear from the day one that how this program will go on. Students were clear, and they were involved in preparing posters, announcements, their publicity, everything was with the students. Even students conducted the whole session, coming from inviting the speaker, welcoming the students and the speakers, conducting the whole session, vote of thanks, everything was used to be done by the students themselves. And every day they were supposed to prepare briefs of talk of the speaker and it used to go into the social media every day, next day morning, and it has become so popular that we have been getting a lot of comments and responses and comments reactions over this particular type of communication. If you look at the guests we invited from reputed institutions like Indian Institute of Mathematical Sciences, Indian Institute of Corporate Sciences, IITs, Ashoka University, ministries, and many other All India Institute of Medical Sciences, central universities, state universities, Europe and America. But the best part of this program was that this program went on a weekly basis. In the first week, we decided to have some interaction and sharing of experiences from the senior colleagues from different reputed institutions, and they shared with the students the lifetime experiences with them, with the students. And they also discussed the challenges they are facing and the prospects they see in this profession. And also they shared the kind of skill sets the students are supposed to have while remaining in this profession. So it was very wonderful interactions with the very senior professionals. In the next week, we had covered some new technologies, new resources, and new strategies, which were not part of our syllabi, but those technologies are important. Those strategies are important for being an individual researcher or a user, and that can be used by anyone. So that kind of technologies we put in, and if you look at the topics of these technologies and the resources and all, I think 50% of the topics were never discussed on any kind of platform. At least I can say about India, like gaming in libraries. It has never been discussed. Self-publishing, it has never been discussed. Interactive resources and for libraries, it has never been discussed at any platform. But our resource persons came forward to have discussions on such areas. Moving to third week, it was again a challenging job to decide the areas, and we took a stand that we should have some feeling, understanding, and about the futuristic kind of thing. And we decided to have the third week on open knowledge, open science, open data, OERs, and so on. And again, there were many topics which were never discussed at any national platform. Maybe you can say about data carpentry or open knowledge or SDG or and open knowledge, open data for education and research, and open science. I think these are the areas which have been discussed for the first time at any platform. That is why the briefs which were going to Facebook and social media were very popular. In the fourth week, we again had some talks on QR codes and GIS and public libraries. I think, again, GIS has never been discussed in any platform in India, so far as my knowledge is concerned. Of course, Umaji will update if any of these topics have been discussed at any platform, or maybe we have a lot of colleagues there here. So I think this is so. So it was completely a new area full of possibilities and opportunities for libraries, adopt more customer-centric kind of approach. And that is what our students could learn. And the best part of this training is that students were deeply involved so much that they produced many products, like they produce a comic based on their experiences every day from the speaker, so that the students of other universities can understand that what is this topic all about and what it says, what are the important questions. So this program is not useful for us Rather, the outcome of this program has become a treasure for the country, whole of the country, and we have documented them, printed them, and they are available after this program to everyone. So this is we have our students who have also produced very interesting videos. I think some of the products they will show and they will explain in very brief. I won't go in detail and very interesting products. And I would certainly the images they created for everyone who was with us as a speaker, and they shared, and everyone was so happy that they put on their social media and so on, and we got thousands of likes and comments on these images. I think Antonia, Umaji, and everyone will agree about this. So this is how this program is going on. How this the best the thing that how this idea came to our mind in departments thinking that if you ask me, the motivation force of this exercise is 1 month that I would say that NEP 2020 and its vision that has been put forward, led by the Honourable Prime Minister, that motivates us to think out of box, and we are just trying to offer learning in new ways, which may be in the spirit of NEP and which is a pride of for all of us being Indian. So with this note, I welcome everyone in this program, and over to you, Renu. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Dinesh Gupta ji. And as you said, the beautiful product has been produced. I know this is all when you go for the student-led activities, always this, you can say the sweet fruit come out. And as in education, we usually talk about the student-centric pedagogies, and we always argue that these pedagogies are the best one because this produce an better learning outcome as well as the better development in terms of the students. And I think that you have implemented in your department. So congratulations for that. And we all are assured that when students are involved wholeheartedly, then we have witnessed that wonder creates. I think Professor Dinesh will and Dr. Anand will agree with me, because for so many years they are also seeing all these things in our university, that students can create the wonders. So thank you so much, Professor Dinesh. And now I want to invite Ms. Jyoti from Department of Library and Information Sciences for introduction of our chief guest, Dr. Antonia Arawa, IFLA President. Ms. Jyoti.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are very much audible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. My greetings to the Honourable Vice Chancellor, Professor Tankeshwar Kumar, and all the respected dignitaries present here. I am profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce our chief guest, Ms. Antonia Arawa. She is recently elected as IFLA President-elect 2021 to 2023. She is the current IFLA Treasurer. The period 2017 to 19 was the head of the Library of the President of Hellenic Democracy. She has served from June 2011 until March 2014 as the Acting General Director of the National Library of Congress, where she works since 1995. From 2004 till 2009, she has Counselor of the Head of the Group of Greek MEPs in Brussels in Cultural Policy, Heritage and Cultural Creation of Interconnection Networks. She holds a BA in Byzantine and Modern Literature and MPA from the Athens University of Business and Economics, and a Master's in Communication and Media Studies from University of Athens. Her PhD thesis is on cultural diplomacy and the role of social media. The USA Presidential Libraries example. She is currently member of the governing board of IFLA, member of IFLA Executive Committee, member of IFLA Congress Advisory Committee, and member of IFLA Steering Committee, and from 2017 to 19 has served as chair in Division 4, member of IFLA Professional Committee, member of IFLA Financial Committee, and also member of the International Jury Committee of IFLA International Marketing Award. She has served as secretary in IFLA Management and Marketing section from 2015 to 17. From 2007 till 2010, she was a member of the board of directors of the Greek General State Archives. She speaks English, French, and Italian, and she plays the piano very well. She is the managing director of the literary magazine Decada. She has attended all the IFLA congresses since 2001. She has published articles about strategic management, public diplomacy, cultural heritage, marketing, and strategic reforms in human resources. Antonia has served as president of the board of Hellenic US Alumni and representative of IFLA GB in UNESCO, Media and Information Literacy Department. She has translated many IFLA manifestos and guidelines on multiculturalism, internet, and transparency. She is the current Secretary General of ENAM, European Network of American Alumni Associations. She has a special advisor to the alternate Minister of Immigration for European Parliament issues and libraries. Since June 2021, is the President of the General Council of Libraries in the Greek Ministry of Education. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. Now, I request Sardhanan and team, our second semester student, to take over the mic and present their product called Flipbook. Sardhanan, please take over the mic.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Each speaker has a unique specialty, which gave us idea to develop a flipbook, which contains the illustration of the expert. This was a group activity. Everyone in our group worked hard to make it happen. This idea was liked by the speaker very much, and also has been shared by them on social media, which got responses from all over the world. This will help Central University of Haryana to establish a sustainable relation with such prominent experts from all across the world. Thank you, ma'am.
This is the beautiful flip book which are prepared by the students, which Sardanand has elaborated. The pictures are really, really wonderful. And we all are feeling that we should be in these pictures. So this is really very nice creation by the students. Congratulations to all the students who have prepared this flip book.
Thank you, ma'am.
They have created pictures for every speaker and every person who has involved in this program. Is this 1 month long program? So I think that's why so many resource persons are there.
Ma'am, Professor J.P. Singh Durrell Sahab has joined, and we welcome sir this program.
Professor Durrell, we all welcome you for this valedictory session.
Good evening to all of you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you so much, Dr. and Sardanand. Now I will request Dr. Antonia for her address. Dr. Antonia, can you hear me?
Thank you so much. I feel really delighted and very honored to join you in this webcast, and I think it is a great initiative. Congratulations to all of you. Allow me to say my special thanks to my old friend from Management and Marketing section in IFLA, the distinguished Professor Dinesh Gupta. Actually, the first one of my first IFLA friends that I have made, and after almost 20 years, we are still friends, and I really hope from the bottom of my heart that we will have many opportunities with Dinesh and with all the Indian library community to work together in order to move things forward in the library field. As you mentioned, in the last IFLA elections, I was elected as IFLA president-elect for starting in August, this August 2021 till 2023, and then in 2023 till 2025, I will be the IFLA president according to the IFLA rules. So I am the current IFLA treasurer, and my special interest, it will be to present you the connection between libraries and the SDGs, the United Nations Sustainability Goals, and of course saying a few things about the huge change that COVID-19 has made to not only to our everyday lives, to each one of us wherever we live in this planet, but also to the libraries and the role that the libraries have to play. Also, I want to tell you that today in Athens it's 43 degrees, which is really hot, even for Athens. It is summertime, and even though it's almost 2 o'clock here, I'm really delighted in this very warm day to join you, because I think that it is very important what you are doing and what you have organized, because the students is the future, and the students, they are building the future for the mankind, and also the future for the libraries. And it is important that your university, one of the most distinguished, with one of the most distinguished library and information schools, has taken this initiative. And as Dinesh has mentioned, it's good, it's so helpful to think out of the box and to take this kind of initiatives in a regular basis in order to try to predict any kind of development that can be done, you know, in the nearest future. So congratulations again. I'm sure that I have prepared PowerPoint, but I can't get connected in Webex through my my laptop. So I'm going to speak, you know, on this.
You can send us PPT if you want it to run. I can share from here if you want.
Well, I have it. I am connected through my iPhone, and I can read, you know, the main points. So it won't take long, and I hope it will be quite interesting, and I can send to you afterwards to distribute it or to put it everywhere you really need. So, libraries are key institutions for achieving the United Nations Sustainability Goals. Over the last few years, IFLA has been actively involved with the creation of the UN 2030 agenda, advocating for the inclusion of access to information, safeguarding of cultural heritage, universal literacy, and access to information and communication technologies, ICT, in the framework. 6 years ago, in August 2015, after more than 3 years of hard negotiations and intense involvement from many stakeholders, including IFLA, the member states of the United Nations, agreed to a final version of the post to 2015 Development Agenda, now known as the 2030 Agenda. This agenda was adopted by world leaders in September 2015 at a historic United Nations summit where IFLA was present. In the UN 2030 Agenda, access to information has been recognized as a target under Sustainable Development Goal 16. And here it is mentioned, ensure public access to information and protect fundamental freedoms in accordance with national legislation and international agreements. And in target 11.4, it's about culture, saying that half of the world's population lacks access to information online. In our knowledge society, libraries provide access and opportunity for all. And this, of course, has to do with the Lyon Declaration. It's one of the most important declarations that IFLA has been made, and it has to do on access to information and development. So what is our vision? Not IFLA's vision, but I think to all the library vision. We envision a world with universal literacy. And this is how the way to transform our world. That's why IFLA has prepared the last years the IAP, which is the IFLA International Advocacy Program, was a capacity building program launched in 2016 and designed to promote and support the role libraries can play in the planning and implementation of the UN 2030 Agenda and the SDGs. Having under our consideration that every single day 100 civilians are killed in armed conflicts, having in our mind that global peace and security is not a guarantee, and having in our mind that unpredictable conditions like COVID-19 and the pandemic is coming up, it is more than necessary to promote the access to information and to strengthen the role of libraries as community hubs and as hubs where the precise and accurate information can be circulated. So, IFLA, in cooperation with the UN, has developed the SDG storytelling flowchart. You can find it in the IFLA website, which has to do with the library map of the world, one of the biggest and most important programs of IFLA, trying to find out all the libraries that they are present in the world and how IFLA can help each one of the libraries to make its own storytelling according to the services each library provides to the residents where the library, either if it's a public library or an academic library, where the library is. So, one of the main things is to raise the level of awareness on the SDGs of library workers at community, national and regional levels, and to promote the important role libraries can play in the development by contributing to the UN 2030 Agenda. The other thing is to increase the participation of library associations, public library representatives, and also library university schools in advocacy work at national and regional levels to secure sustainable public access to information through library services and, of course, through library programs. You can find in the website of the UN a special PowerPoint where libraries has really a significant role under the title Libraries Can Drive Progress Across the Entire UN 2030 Agenda. How? First of all, one of the goals is to end poverty in all its forms everywhere. And libraries can support this goal by providing public access to information and resources that give people opportunities to improve their lives, by training in new skills needed for education and employment. What your library school is doing very successfully. Information to support decision making by governments, civil society, and businesses to combat poverty. The other goal is to end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. And libraries can support this goal by providing agricultural research and data on how to make crops more productive and sustainable. And of course, to provide public access for farmers to online resources like local market prices, weather reports, and new equipment. The other UN goal is to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. And in this field, libraries, the last 2 years, 1.5 years actually, after the appearance of COVID-19, has played, and they are still playing, a very significant role. Not only the health libraries or the libraries that they are in hospitals or in research institutions, but all libraries support this goal by providing research available in medical and hospital libraries that supports education and improves medical practice for healthcare providers, public access to health and wellness information in public libraries that helps individuals and families stay healthy. The other goal is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all libraries, with dedicated staff who support early literacy and lifelong learning, the one that Professor Dines has already mentioned, access to information and research for students everywhere, and inclusive spaces where cost is not a barrier to new knowledge and skills. And of course, to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. And libraries can support this role by safe and welcoming meeting spaces, by providing programs and services designed to meet the needs of women and girls, and to access to information and ICT that helps women build business skills. The main thing is to ensure availability and sustainable management also of water and sanitation for all, ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy to all, and to provide access to information and skills training that people need to find, apply for, and succeed in better jobs. Many libraries, not only big libraries, but also small public libraries, the recent years have been transformed, not only providing them traditional services, but also becoming a maker space, helping people to find job. And this is a new role, I think, for libraries. And of course, libraries and widespread existing infrastructure of public and research, especially libraries and skilled library professionals, welcoming and inclusive public spaces, and access to ICT like high-speed internet that may not be available anywhere else. And this is very important for the social role of libraries. And of course, one of the most important SDG role is to reduce inequality within and among countries. I must tell you, and Dinesh know this, and I have many Indian friends in IFLA, that one of my logos was diversity, equality, and IFLA as a more participatory organization. So it is very important to reduce this inequality within and among countries. And libraries can support this role by providing neutral and welcoming spaces that make learning accessible to all, including marginalized groups like immigrants, refugees, minorities, persons with disabilities, and equitable access to information that supports social, political, and economical inclusion. And this has to do with spaces, because it is important to make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. And how libraries can support this goal? By providing trusted institutions devoted to promoting cultural inclusion and understanding, and of course, documentation and preservation of cultural heritage for the future generation. I must tell you that I have visited your beautiful country in 2004. I have visited Calcutta, and I'm very impressed by your civilization. I am Greek, and I really appreciate all countries and all civilizations. On the other hand, I really appreciate countries with long time civilization like the Indian one. So you can imagine how important it is, the role in this kind of countries with long history, to provide this access to the cultural heritage to all generations. So, libraries support these goals by providing sustainable systems of sharing and circulating materials that reducing waste, historical records about coastal chains and land use, widespread access to information needed to guide decision making by local and national governments on various topics that has to do with SDGs. And of course, it is important for all libraries to become inclusive for all. And it is important to create a global network of community-based institutions trying to support the local development plans. And this, you can find it in SDGs and also in IFLA website. I can send you my PowerPoint, and I can put also in social media, the links also in IFLA website, where you can find what IFLA has done and what IFLA's main initiatives are like the SDG Action Week. And what we have done is I will just very briefly mention 5 ways in which you can help show this contribution. Use our poster websites and social media. Think of a story you can contribute to the library map of the world. Organize and present your own advocacy resources, and take the message to the decision makers and influencers. And last but not least, assess your capacity to advocate around the SDGs, ensuring that everyone understands the difference that libraries can make cannot be taken for granted. And there are many library associations around the world which are really working hard on this. And also in IFLA website, you can find, if you put IFLA initiatives and COVID-19, you can find all the initiatives IFLA has taken, and all the initiatives also gathered from libraries all over the world and from the 6 continents, what libraries have made to help the citizens to compensate them in this really very difficult situation. I will just mention just a few, except from borrowing books and sending them to the houses of people that couldn't visit the libraries when the libraries were closed, organizing online storytelling, especially for children, because in the first and the second lockdown it was extremely difficult, especially for the children, to stay at home. And the library site, it was a site and on a secure online environment where children could go and listen to the librarian reading a book, and also become interactive, an interaction between the librarian and the child. And also the libraries provide, many libraries around the world provide psychological advices to people who were deeply stressed during the lockdown, and also providing, after the two lockdowns, information about jobs for unemployed people. So this, to sum up, because I don't want to be out of time, these are some of the main initiatives that libraries and IFLA itself has taken in the COVID-19 to try to fight this extremely difficult situation that we don't really know when it will end, and will end forever. But I think personally, I'm a very positive person, so I always want to think positive and to think for the future. My what I would like you to keep in your mind from my presentation is two things. First of all, something that we all know, but not all the people in the world know, that they are not librarians or they are not library professors. Libraries are important for the sustainability of a country, of a sustainability of a region, of a sustainability of this planet. And the second thing is that with a close cooperation between different partners, and IFLA will work, on this. That's why IFLA has restructured, and IFLA has created a regional council with regional divisions in order to be more inclusive, only with close cooperation with many different people coming from different countries from all over the world. We can make the difference in libraries, and especially what is really important is to make the difference in people's life. This is what I would like to tell you. Thank you so much. I hope I will pronounce it well. Is G Bahat Shukriya.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you so much, Dr. Antonia.
Thank you so much.
Renuji, just a minute. Antonia, we have Mr. Sanjay Bihani with us, the IFLA governing board member. He also participated in this training program, and he shared his expertise of offering virtual services to the diplomats around the world. So I think Sanjay would, he had come forward.
Sanjay Sanjay is one of my friends and colleagues in IFLA governing board. We work very smoothly together, and I think India must be very proud to have Sanjay as a member in the governing board, and I would like to warmly congratulate him for the work that he is doing in IFLA governing board.
Thank you, Tonya.
Sanjay, you're here. I'm sorry. I'm speaking.
I'm here. I'm here, and welcome.
Oh! I didn't know. If I knew, I would say more. I speak through my iPhone, so I can see only two people. So now I can see Dines, and I'm happy that I can see you. I'm really happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Antonia. And very rightly you said that libraries are the heart of sustainable development. as the library are the soul of the education. So they can't be taken as granted, as they are integral part of the progress. So as your journey in IFLA, as I have read your brief CV, so your journey in IFLA tell us that unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow. So these words of Osborne have rightly suited to you. So thank you so much for being our chief guest for this valedictory section. Thank you so much, Dr. Antonia.
Thank you.
And now, yes, and now I will request Dr. Amit from Department of Library Sciences to introduce our guest of honor, Professor Uma Kanchila.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I am proudly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce the guest of honor, Professor Uma Kanjilal, who is the Pro Vice Chancellor of the most renowned institutions, Indira Gandhi National Open University. It is the largest university in the world. Uma Kanjilal is the professor and head in the Library and Information Science in the IGNOU, and she has more than 31 years of experience in the open and distance learning system. Professor Kanjilal is one of the national coordinator of SWAM and SWAM Prabha educational DTH channels of Ministry of Human Resources Development. She was a principal investigator of the project National Virtual Library of India, Ministry of Culture. Her specializations include e-learning, multimedia courseware development, ICT application in library and digital libraries. She was a Fulbright scholar in the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign in 1999 to 2000, where she worked on multimedia courseware development. Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our invitations and become a guest of honor of today's events. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now,
Thank you, Dr. Amit.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I request to Snigdha to summarize the video that is created by her group. Snigdha, mic over to you. IT
Yes,
section,
sir.
please play the video.
Thank you, sir. So, good evening, everyone. The making of this video, the idea was conceived
We
when
had a
we
30
were
days
directly
online
involved in
summer
this
training program
and
in which experts from
it was a
different
group
locations
activity.
across the
In
globe
this
were
course of this
invited.
program,
We have
various
learned
experts
numerous things,
spoke on
but here
different
are some
facets of
insights of
present
the
and future
program
roles
which
of
every
information professionals.
information professional needs to
During
know.
different talks, many important points were pointed out,
The
which require
first insight
attention.
is
Such
collaborations
points can
between
help the
institutions and
professionals to get the
individuals.
idea.
Please pause your video. Snigdha,
Yes,
please
ma'am.
pause your video first.
Yes, ma'am. May I
Yes,
continue, ma'am?
now you can speak. Yes, yes.
Can continue. Actually, we were not
Okay,
able
ma'am.
to hear you. So please.
Am I audible now, ma'am?
Yes, you are very much audible, Snigdha. Please continue.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So, the whole idea of making this video was conceived when we were deeply involved in this program, and it was a group activity. In this course of this program, various experts spoke on different facets of present and future roles of information professionals. During different talks, many important points were pointed out, which require attention. Such points can help the professionals to get the idea about the skills required to be a 21st century information professional, or we can say a future-proof information professional. So that is the insight of this program, which we have brought out in the form of a video. So can we have the video? Can you please play the video?
We had a 30 days online summer training program in which experts from different locations across the globe were invited. We have learned numerous things, but here are some insights of the program which every information professional needs to know. So, the first insight is collaborations between institutions and individuals. Collaborations within and outside of the institution are growing. Apart from traditional librarianship, there is a new role assigned to libraries is partnering in sharing, publishing and creating of knowledge. The second one is proving value. In an increasingly evidence and data-driven environment, it is important than ever that libraries prove their value to the organization, showing a return on the investment made in them. We need to advocate for libraries and resources. The next one is interactivity. The duty of the information professional is not solely dealing with the books, but they are part of interactions and communication process, and technology is supporting us in a big way. Then comes artificial intelligence and data analytics. Knowledge managers of the future should be aware of artificial intelligence, data analytics, machine learning, like skill sets, as these areas have proximity with the data management. Last but not the least, innovation and creativity. Creativity is about actions, connections, devotion, and also have to think out of the box. The most important innovation within the library profession is the change in attitude and practices, the way services are delivered to patrons and users.
Thank you so much, IT section, and applaud to Sinigda and the team who has created this wonderful video to summarize in so beautiful words. For 2-3 minutes, they have summarized all the summer training program. So congratulations to all the team members. And now I want to request our guest of honor, Professor Uma Kanjilalji, Vice Chancellor IGNOU, for her deliberations on skills and competencies for new generation LIS professionals. Professor Uma.
Yeah, thank you very much. Honourable Vice Chancellor of Central University of Haryana, Professor Tankeshwar Kumarji, Chief Guest Dr. Antonia Aharova, Guest of Honor Professor J.P. Singh Jurel, Professor Dinesh Gupta, Head Department of Library and Information Science, and all participants of this webinar as well as the valedictory session. Good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank the Department of Library Information Science of Central University of Haryana for inviting me for this session. And I'm really impressed by the kind of work that has been done by the students, especially the flip book and the video that has been created. Really impressed, and it seems, I mean, it reflects the kind of work that is being done by the department itself. So congratulations to Dr. Dinesh and his team members and the faculty. So in my address, I will be deliberating on skills and competencies of new generation of LIS professionals. But before delving into the new skill sets and competencies that are required for LIS professionals, it is important that we first construe the relevance of libraries in the new millennium. We all are living in exponential times where technology has pervaded to our day-to-day activities. And in fact, the COVID-19 disruptions has completely changed our outlook on library services. Libraries across the globe came up with innovative services to reach out their user community during these difficult times. In the present scenario, wherein we talk about Industry 4.0 or Society 4.0, and more recently, even we have started talking about Industry 5.0 or Society 5.0, and even we relate it with Library 4.0 and Library 5.0. Where we find that there is an emphasis on artificial intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, augmented reality, robotics, blockchain technology, and customization or personalization of services. And keeping this in view, I think libraries need to relook and adapt to the present requirements. Industry 5.0 is marked by transformation of modern manufacturing processes to enable man and machine to work hand in hand, pairing the unique cognitive skills of workers and precise technical skills of robots to inject an innovative culture into the workforce. AI and big data can now be used in libraries as well, and this can be used for the capturing core user intelligence for better reach to user, create a better connection with the community, and become more relevant and stay more flexible and adaptable to library user requirements. Libraries can use big data to create personalized user experience by offering content and resources based on each individual requirement. There are a number of examples available how actually these technologies are being extensively used in libraries. And there are many possibilities for library applications of IoT. We can see that Internet of Things, it can be used for the purpose of tracking reading room usage to monitoring the humidity levels for a special collection where we need to actually put them in a special room for that, and many other applications we can think of. Therefore, libraries can offer better user experience by enriching its services and collections. Blockchain technology also is being extensively used, in fact, and it could be used to build an enhanced metadata system. I think that's what we in India we have not yet explored, and this can actually help us in taking over this mundane activities that are there. So perhaps that's one area we need to explore, and that's something which can help us in a big way, especially the LIS professionals. And also it can help in actually networking with libraries for resource sharing purposes. We have examples of drones being used for book delivery or document delivery. For example, this Australian startup Flirty has demonstrated book delivery for a book renter service called Zucal. Similarly, we have examples where we see that image-based augmented reality applications are being used in libraries, such as Library ARI is a platform which allows users to search for books with augmented reality interactions. And this can actually save a lot of time of the library users, in fact. We have another example of FingerLink. It's a prototype developed by Fujitsu, a digital tool to work with printed book. It provides a digital enhancement of a simple printed book by converting it into turn-by-turn library guide. It actually detects users' fingers and what it is touching and creates an interface, interactive touchscreen where they can select the part they want to and transpose it into digital form where it can be actually processed further. So these are some examples. You can actually have a look into them. These are already available on the net. One can see in the wonderful way which can be adopted. So there are massive technology developments that are ongoing and underway, which will require us to revisit the skills and competencies required for the LIS workforce. I think that's something we need to work on. And actually the way the ICT is taking over or most of the activities, this becomes a challenge for us. Libraries have been early adopters and adapters of any new technology that has been introduced. Over the years, we have seen that information-seeking behavior of library users have changed with 24/7 access to scholarly material, powerful search engines being made available, and we all are, in fact, living in the Google world. We need an information and we just have to Google it. That's what is happening all over. There are gradual emphasis on reuse and repurposing on information, especially the open license content such as OERs, which are available under the Creative Commons or GNU GPL license, rather than focusing mainly on the proprietary content. So this is one area I think the information professionals need to relook and also see how they can help their library users. University library users are also getting involved in digital publishing activities along with the faculty. They are providing platforms like Open Journal System for creating in-house journals, in fact, and libraries can play a major role, in fact, where publication of institution is concerned. In the digital preservation front, we find that we are gradually becoming fundamental. It's becoming a fundamental responsibility of the academic libraries, and they have been providing support for developing in-house institutional repositories, digital libraries, etc., for the institutions, in fact. So the main question is, in today's digital or virtual world, what is going to be the future of libraries? This is a major concern of the LIS community. When every library user carries global library on a mobile device they have in hand, do we really need a library? The answer is a big yes. Yes, we need libraries. But the role of libraries may become even more important in such situation, and we need to redefine these roles. It's not going to be just a place to house resources, but it could be a place where we can, which can enhance the services to lot of activities, services, value-added applications that can be brought in. The libraries of the new millennium will need to provide a welcome common space. Already, I think even Dr. Antonia mentioned about that libraries may have to turn into skill hubs, or we have to think in terms of providing maker space kind of a thing. And that will actually encourage exploration, creation, collaboration between students, teachers, and broader community. It needs to bring together the best of the physical and digital world to create learning hubs. In fact, in the backdrop, keeping this in view, the way people have been talking about how technology is taking over, major concerns are being voiced by the LIS professionals. Some of these are libraries as a place relevant in 21st century? In the present economy, which is based on ideas and not on knowledge, will the library as a place disappear? In a connected world with extensive access to vast amount of information, would users go to libraries? Do we really need to construct new building anymore? A library building, I mean, or henceforth it will be all virtual libraries? And what we do to the already existing libraries, that we need to relook. The power of technology will make libraries more able to deliver improved services, digitization and remote access. As a result, there is a concern that this may make them irrelevant as a place. So that's actually a lot of people, and especially in this COVID situation where actually all of a sudden everything got locked down, libraries got locked down, this became a major concern, in fact. And everything was happening, and a lot of innovative services came up with the libraries to reach out their users. I think that's a concern that everyone is voicing. So in future, do we have library as a place or library as a platform? That's a big question. So is it going to be a physical place, or it will be simply a virtual platform where we meet, where we go, where we look for our library resources. Even the librarian is available virtually. So that's something, it's a concern. It will actually be a central place for users to connect with the and learn from one another, connect and work together, display, discuss their work and learn together. Libraries need to evolve as learning space. I think that's the term already Dr. Antonia also was mentioning, that I think we need to redefine the library spaces that are there. In fact, one of my PhD students is working on that area. She is trying to find out how the libraries can be converted into information commons. It's a space where actually people get together, learn together, work together, share resources, knowledge. That's something it's something we need to work on. Libraries need to consider how they provide facilities that become essential to the lives of new millennium learners. So what are the perceived roles of librarians? So the role gets redefined as creators of information, as developers and producers of information products and services, collectors of information as librarians, archivists, and record managers, communicators of information as information workers, extension workers, subject specialists, etc., and consolidators of information as reference librarian, information brokers, analysts, etc. So in the present day context of redefined roles, library professionals will need to have skills and competencies in using different tools and platforms. Apart from the library automation activities, they need to master some of the tools and platforms such as collection building tools like web authoring software, content management systems like Drupal or Joomla, digital library software, DSpace or Greenstone, learning management software like Moodle, Google Classroom, OpenEdX. They need to also work on communication building tools such as blogs. I mean, a lot of platforms, open source platforms are available, just like Blogger, WordPress, which can be used extensively in the libraries. RSS feed tools like Atom, Bloglines, instant messaging tools, Google Hangout, and many other such platforms that are available. Work on streaming media, like for podcasting, YouTube, and for streaming your videos, collections, etc. Collaboration building tools like wikis, then community building tools like social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, discussion groups using PHP, BB, virtual spaces such as Second Life. So, I mean, I think these are some of the tools and platforms that are becoming a part and parcel of many of the activities of libraries. This has to still to happen in fact, in India. I think we need to work on this, and a lot of change in the curriculum of the library schools will be required in that context, in fact. So ICT developments have opened up opportunities to develop innovative services. Implementing these services are may bring in major issues also, requiring new competencies and strategies, repositioning the role of libraries with customized and personalized services. Look into LIS education scenario in India. It reflects that lack of standardized curriculum framework. We find overemphasis on ICT. I mean, too much of hardware and other things that we talk about, not too much focus. I mean, we need to also think in terms of using ICT for providing services. Those need to get embedded in the curriculum itself. We have the tendency of using jargons, and it has become a fashion. And as a result, what is happening is the core competencies that we talk about of library information professionals get neglected at times. Most of the curriculum designs are not based on market requirements and not keeping pace with the changing requirements. In today's scenario, when we are talking about library 4.0 or 5.0, how many of our professionals are ready for the adopting AI tools or big data in their libraries? So this is something needs to be actually embedded, and our curriculum needs to be flexible so that they can adapt with the quick change that is happening in the ICT front. There is a lack of proper infrastructure also, where hands-on training is required, and this needs to be actually, the library schools need to be supported for that. And another important thing is the library schools are generating employable professionals. I think it is important to integrate soft skill training in the curriculum, which is generally missing. I think that's one area we should also, the library schools need to target and think over. There is inadequate placement support also. In fact, placement should be part and parcel of the activity of the library schools. And it's important to interface with the industry. What we have been thinking only in terms of our library school pass outs to be going straight away to libraries, but there are many opportunities in the many other sectors where actually information professionals can play a very important role. So industry interfacing is important, and in fact training is required to make the professionals industry ready. That's one area we need to reflect on and see that. If we talk about the trends that are happening, and IFLA trend report has been delineating 5 major trends, and some of this already Dr. Antonia mentioned about that. In fact, new technologies will both expand and limit who has access to information. Online education will democratize and disrupt global learning. The boundaries of privacy and data protection will be redefined. Hyper-connected societies will listen to and empower new voices and groups. The global information environment will transform by new technologies. I think this is already happening, and Dr. Antonia in her lecture also mentioned about that. And this clearly redefines the roles and responsibilities of LIS professionals. So it's time for a change. We need to make changes in curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment methods. We need to prepare our professionals for the market, facilitating experiential learning, exploring the potential of ICTs, OERs, and MOOCs for training LIS professionals. We need to put in quality assurance, accountability, and qualification framework in place. Development of transversal and basic skills like critical thinking, initiative taking, problem solving, collaborative work, digital and entrepreneurial skills, and need to be inbuilt in the curriculum itself, which is not happening. I think we need to also relook the possibilities that are there. So the challenges are many, but the opportunity is also great. I think we need to revive the library systems and the library professionals. It is time to re-engineer the system and leapfrog to next generation services in line with the society 4.0 or 5.0 that we talk about. And libraries need to redefine their role, optimize use of ICT, gradually move towards e-resources and digital collection, increase the competency levels of their staff. So in conclusion, I would like to say that as robots and AI tools take over mundane jobs of libraries in Society 5.0, we need to redefine the skills and competencies of the LIS professionals. LIS schools need to restructure their curriculum accordingly. We also need to strengthen the capacity building opportunities for the LIS professionals. So I think I endorse what Dr. Antonia said, that libraries cannot be taken for granted, but I think we also need to be ahead from others, and we need to do SWOT analysis ourselves and look for the opportunities that are there to go forward and be relevant for the present society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Uma Kanjilalji. Actually, you truly said that physical libraries can be converted into learning spaces. And obviously, ICT can help it, because ICT, as you know, that this pandemic has taught us that ICT can be used as a powerful tool to enhance the learning. So obviously, these learning spaces will be more interactive, which we have to plan. that it should be more interactive, and it should inculcate the which life skills are missing among our students due to this online learning. That part can also be included in it. Then I think it will be great. And thank you so much for your wonderful deliberations. You have deliberated on so many nuances of the ICT, and then how libraries can contribute in it, and what reforms and reconstructions libraries are required. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your deliberations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I will request Ms. Udita from Department of Library Sciences for introduction of our guest of honor, Professor J.P. Singh Zurel, Director, InfibNet Center. Dr. Udita.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are very much audible.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening to one and all present here. It's a proud privilege for me to introducing the guest of honor of this beautiful evening, Professor J.P. Singh Zurel, sir. Professor J.P. Singh Zurel is director of InfibNet. Prior to joining director InfibNet, he was working as professor of statistics in the University of Jammu, and also holding the position of Director, UGC Human Resource Development Center. Professor Zurel has more than 33 years of vast experience in teaching he has contributed to higher education.
Snigdha.
Yes, sir.
Udita, Dr.
I think it's planning and universities and member syndicate. Currently, Professor Zurel is contributing as member on University Court, Central University of Haryana. Professor Zurel is contributing as member on University Monitoring Board of Central University of Gujarat. Communication, Empowered Committee of UGC CARE, Consortium for Academic and Research Ethics, Implementation, Core Committee of NIRF, and Framework Development Committee, and team of Atal Ranking of Institution on Innovation Achievements, ARIA, etc. He has significantly contributed in the national level associations related to his discipline and shared editorial responsibilities for reputed national and international journals. It's a great pleasure for all of us, such a great personality among us. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. Now I would invite to Ms. Chanchal for introducing a comic book entitled Umang. Please, Chanchal, it's over to you.
Yes, ma'am.
IT section, please play the comic book. Chanchal, beta, are you there? Yes. Beta, unmute your side. Chanchal, unmute yourself, bache. Still, your voice is not coming.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, beta. Now you are audible. Please continue.
I have
I think Chanchal is having some network issue. So, ma'am, can I continue this thing?
Yes, Snigdha, please continue.
Thank you, ma'am. So, the comic book named Umang 2021, we have brought briefs of the talk. We prepared briefs of the talk every day, but the gist of the briefs was brought out in the form of creative and interactive learning. So if anyone have missed anything, then she can easily understand from these cruxes of the talks. We prepare it in groups, and the idea of bringing out the comic is not only for the students, those who are involved in this program, but also for the students and professionals from all over the country and abroad, from which they can easily grasp the developments and challenges throughout the talks. many inquiries were also put by the students, and those inquiries and responses have also been covered in this comic. So thank you. This is the comic. I hope everyone will like this.
Thank you so much, Sinigda.
Every day the activity is summarized in one page. So this is how this comic says the whole about particular day. So we had 20 talks, and all those 20 talks have been summarized in this comic. It is again will be ready for everyone just after this program. Just to add about Professor Jurel, that is our executive council member. He has also contributed significantly for development of our LMS, because he very kindly exceeded our request to launch LMS with the loaded content of EPG Patsala. So thank you very much, sir. We have always get full support from Jurel sir. And just to share with you, sir, that in the last program and also in this program, you have very kindly permitted some of the senior scientists to share their knowledge with our students. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome, sir. Sir, please. Over to you, sir.
Yes, I'm laudable. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, dear Professor Tankeshwar Kumar, Vice Chancellor of Central University of Haryana, Dr. Antonia Honourable, President
Yes, Dr.
IFLA, Professor Dinesh Gupta, Professor Head, Department of LIS, Central University of Haryana, Professor Sagwan, Professor Uma Kanjilal, Pro Vice Chancellor, Indira Gandhi National Open University. I'm looking here. Dr. Patra, Dr. Sundar Vihani, Renu Yadav, participants, and dear students. Good evening to all of you. And first of all, I would like to congratulate Professor Tankeshwar Kumar, who joined as Vice Chancellor of this university 2 days back. My best wishes to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And I'm hopeful that you will take this university at international level, and also during your tenure, this university will provide quality education to all the society, and will take new dimensions in all the central universities. At the same time, I also congratulate Professor R.C. Kohad, who has worked more than 6 years tirelessly, and due to his efforts, today this university is recognized at national level in the group of the newly created 13 or 14 central universities. I also congratulate Dr. Antonia Arahora, being elected the president of the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions. My best wishes to you also, and I hope that you will take care of not only the library professionals in the world, but also the end users. How you can help the institutions to get the information at their doorstep through open access. I'm sure we each and everybody will benefit by your contributions. I'm happy that Professor Dinesh Gupta has taken a lead, not by organizing this international webinar on sustainable library and information science education, and also organizing this summer training program for 1 month, but also taking the new initiatives during COVID-19, and I'm happy and also congratulate Professor Dinesh Gupta that he himself took lead in implementing the learning management services at Central University of Haryana, when all the institutions were looking for the government or different agencies regarding teaching and learning during this pandemic situation. Now, as we all know that during this pandemic situation, well, all the universities and colleges were forced to close. So there was a need to have some alternative modes of delivery of quality education. So at that time, keeping with the needs of the students, teachers, we thought to have something new so that faculty can be reached to the students, at least in the beginning, to deliver some of the content, relevant content. So in
रेनू मैम
जुरेल सर का लगता है डिस्कनेक्ट
तो जब तक हमारा नेक्स्ट until then we can show our next product.
या
आगे he has come.
So we are on that service, all the available courses, available means which are available on the different platform in the electronic form, or you can say soft form, and those courses are being offered by that university are preloaded on that platform. So the basic purpose was to impart the teaching and provide the content to the students. As we know that nowadays content is available, so many content, but on different platform. The students are not aware from where to get the relevant content, or many times that content is available, whatever that is only one-sided, where either the student can listen or can read, but without the two-way communication, it's not possible to reach out to students. So during this pandemic situation, when universities are not in a position to go for the traditional teaching, or say the classroom teaching, so it is the best way to adopt some methodology, some technology where we can have both the online teaching, learning, and also sometimes we may have the classroom teaching also. So the first thing is to have the some learning management service, and then immediately after having this LMS, the second question arises immediately, that the availability of content. Now here the two things. The first, whatever content is available at the different platforms and sources, that must be provided to the students on this platform, but it's used by the university or universities. Second, we immediately that we should create the own content as per the need of our university, and at the same time that is the question arise also here for the assessment and examination of the students, how to take the exam when this classroom based examination is not possible. So again here we can have the examinations also through this LMS. So in such case, this we can say that the blended mode of teaching and learning, the best way both for the teachers and the students, not only during this lockdown or say pandemic situation, but also in case of that is regular or say normal timings. As we all know that as per this new education policy, the student can opt the courses beyond her or his department, means there is no boundary for the selection of courses, and it will be a challenge for the universities to fulfill the demands of the students in offering the various courses, and without hesitation I can say that it will be impossible for universities to offer such courses if they opt only for the physical mode of teaching. That will be impossible. They will have to go for the offering certain courses on online mode of learning. Now, for this practice is already being implemented. Whether you go for the MOOCs courses, till last year there was a condition of not having more than 20% of courses. The student can opt from MOOCs. Now it has been increased up to 40%. Now, two more things that have been happened. That is why allowed by the government of India. The first, that is the online offering of online degree. So offering of online degree will also require, that is the essential condition to have this learning management software, either software or service, that will be mandatory component. And also for the distance learning, it will also be that is the essential part to have this learning management platform or service. So in all aspects, we must have to follow the blended learning methodology. So in all such cases, I personally believe the LIS professionals, they can take a lead because I understand that they are well versed in the technology. So their main now, in my opinion, apart from their existing work, now that is how to disseminate the knowledge. So I mean to say how the material, the content can be shared to the students, the stakeholders, how to create the new content, that will again be a challenge. And in this field also, LIS professionals can train and motivate their faculty members how to create. And also, because even for this online teaching learning, even till today, we are not familiar or for using this technology for teaching, assessment and examination purpose. Even some of the faculty members and the students are in need of training. Again, this LIS professionals can also take a lead in providing the support system to their universities. Apart from this, I personally believe that LIS professionals are the backbone for any educational institution, whether it is a college or it is a university. Although it is also known fact in our Indian education system that the persons sitting on the helm of the affairs who are managed the higher education institutions are not paying much attention towards the university and college libraries. Even today, if I'm not wrong, in my opinion, to go for the survey of all India basis, you find that 40 to 50% posts are lying vacant. Forget to have the new creations. So, these allied professionals can provide the lead to the or the main key to the students for online teaching and learning this process. Also, if we, for nowadays, I think 1 year has been passed, launching of the new education policy, I think just 2 days before, on 29 July. When you go through the report, you'll find that it also suggests, or you can say that it also recognizes the importance of leveraging the advantage of technology while acknowledging its potential and dangers. And it has been recommended in the report, the policy, that the ICT-based education initiatives must be optimized and expanded to meet the current and future challenges in providing quality education for all. So, it is important that the use of technology for online and digital education adequately addressed concerns of society for quality, equity, and accessibility of the education. With these words, I end here, and I once again congratulate Dr. Dinesh Gupta for leading the Central University of Haryana, the Department of Library and Information Science, and I'm sure that in coming years, the department will be not only known to all the universities in India, but it will be treated at par with the leading departments. As I understand, the Delhi University, Banaras Hindu University. So my best wishes to Professor Dinesh Gupta and his faculty members take this department in the league of this first 4 or 5 departments of the universities. And as far as Influence Center is concerned, it belongs to you. It belongs to all the stakeholders, me, my whole team, and all the all resources are available to you, all the persons, by 24/7.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, sir, for
Thank you inviting me for today's. So thank you and Jai Hind.
Yes, over, sir. Sir, you have rightly said that the new era will be of the LMS. And last year, sir, here I want to share our experience. Last year, we struggled a lot to get acquainted with the LMS. But fortunately, in our university, most of the faculty are now working on LMS and trying to make it more interactive for and interesting for the students. So it's a great contribution, and rightly you said that this in this situation, obviously we require more these kind of technologies. Ji, sir.
I would like to share one more thing. Well, Central University of Haryana, but the first one at national level to introduce this LMS at their university. As on date, more than 40 universities and other institutions are using that LMS, and almost I think 15 or 18 institutions are that they waiting for some technological issues from their part. So we are happy that the last 1 year we are able to provide this service to at least 50 institutions, and mostly are from that central or CFTIs or central universities.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your appreciation. And now I will request Dr. Anand Sharma, Dean School of Business and Management Studies, for introduction of our Chief Pattern, Professor Tankeshwar Kumar ji. Dr. Anand. Please unmute yourself, sir. Dr. Anand, you are muted.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Renu Yadav, for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I am thankful to Library and Information Science Department, and I am happy that they have organized such a wonderful program. And during the whole day deliberations, I felt just like, having a, bath of ideas, knowledge, wisdom, and new thoughts. So thank you and congratulations, Library Science Department led by Professor Dinesh Gupta ji. Congratulations. And in fact, I have been given
Sandeep ji, please mute.
Oh. So secondly, in fact, I have been given very difficult task of introducing such a great personality, which is difficult to be introduced in words. But whatever task is given to me, I would like to do justice. Professor Tankeshwar Kumar is a great academician known worldwide in science field specifically. He is an accomplished researcher, and he has spent around a decade in his academics. If we if we see from his BSc, MSc, PhD, and postdoc, and as a research fellow, he has invested 1 decade. And after that, he has invested around 3 decades as a professional, as a teacher, as a leader. And really this journey of our Honourable Vice Chancellor is certainly motivating to all of us. Honourable Vice Chancellor Professor Tankeshwar Kumar is presently Vice Chancellor, Central University of Haryana. Before recently joining this university, he has been Vice Chancellor of Guru Jambheshwar University of Science and Technology since 2015. Along with this period, he has been given additional charge of two universities in Haryana, that is Deen Bandhu Chotu Ram University of Science and Technology, Murthal, and Chaudhary Bansirao University, Bhiwani. Professor Tankeshwar Kumar is the first UGC professor of physics under FRT scheme. Professor Tankeshwar Kumar has been director to Computer Center, Punjab University since 2005, and presently he is on leave because he is a vice chancellor. He has, if we go by his academic as a scholar and student, he started his academic in science as BSc from Kurukshetra University, 1983, then MSc, 1985 from Punjab University, then PhD in 1990 from Punjab University. Then he joined postdoctoral fellow. He worked as postdoctoral fellow at ICTP, Italy, during 1991 to 1992. So we see complete 1 decade of as a student and scholar. Then after 1992, 1993, his career as a lecturer, teacher, professor, director of Computer Center, then UGC professor, chair, and many more administrative responsibilities such as vice chancellor. It is a 3-decade complete experience of teaching and research. Recently, he has been given, keeping in view his eminence, he has been given major responsibilities, such as he has been member of UGC Examination Reform Committee, chairman committee to establish first skill university in Haryana, which we ski Vishwakarma University. So he was the person who conceptualized this vision of skill university in Haryana. And today we can see in the whole India, our government has a great vision. In Delhi also, we can see there is a skill university. Then our Vice Chancellor has been member of Planning Board, YMCA, University of Science and Technology, Faridabad. He has been founding member, Board of Governors, IIIT, Sonipat. He has been chairman committee for student selection in Haryana. He has been chairman and member of various NEC peer teams for NEC accreditations. So these are the major responsibilities which has been recently given to Sir. His expertise area is basically condensed matter physics and nanotechnology, information technology, and e-governance. Sir, I will just take a glimpse of that, although it is very difficult to summarize the whole things. If we want to understand the quality of publications, we can see number of publications are 160, and out of that 100 are international journals, journals of repute. Then H index is 19, highest impact factor is 40. That is, as a dream for any academician. And his citations are more than 1,000. 12 PhDs have been awarded and 3 PhD scholars are pursuing under him. And there are many more achievements and his associateship, such as he is fellow of International Academy of Physical Sciences. He is member of National Academy of Sciences in India. He has been awarded Vidyasagar Award 2017, Lifetime Achievement Award in 2016. He has been given Appreciation Award by Federation of Corrugated Box Manufacturers 2016, Education Leadership Award in 2016, Ayush Award in 2015, Vidyasri Award in 2006, and many more. He has visited more than 17 countries in abroad for his research and academics. So these are the basic highlights, because within the given time I was given this responsibility. So thank you very much, and we are happy that we have such leader at the helm of affair of our university. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anand. And we heartily welcome our Honourable Vice Chancellor, Professor Tankeshwar Kumarji. Now I will request the student Shikha for introduction of Gyan Jyoti, and IT section, please play Gyan Jyoti booklet.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. From the beginning of this program, we decided to bring out briefs of the talk of every speaker so that we were deeply involved in the talk of every expert. It was a group activity where we exchanged our notes. Those were prepared during the talk and developed the briefs every day. These briefs were published on different social media platforms, which were very much liked by information professionals from different parts of countries and from abroad. This motivated us to bring out the whole brief things in the form of booklet named Gyan Jyoti 2021, which can be shared among the students of different universities and LIS professionals so that they also will be benefited. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Shikha. This is the booklet Gyan Jyoti, which the students have prepared as she briefed that they are going to distribute it to among the academic fraternity. And in this, they have prepared for, with every speaker, they have prepared what they have said, what was their topic, what's the brief of that topic. And so I think it will be very helpful for other members to understand what the program was and how it was conducted. Thank you so much, dear students, for preparing such beautiful booklet. Thank you, everyone. Now it's my proud privilege to invite the Honourable Vice Chancellor, sir, for his presidential address. Sir.
Thank you, Renu Yadav. Thank you, Dr. Anand Sharma ji, for giving me my introduction. Yeah, maybe it is the first program. Now it is not, but maybe it is first because I am attending this program for last 1.5 years.
Sir, I think it got disconnected.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, now you are audible.
Yeah, I could see that there was some network issue. Yeah. So first of all, okay, I congratulate Professor Dinesh Kumar Gupta ji, head of the Department of Library and Information Sciences, because he organized this program in the time of the COVID, and it is a 1-month program. So you're providing the training to the students as well as maybe through faculty members. You know, just a minute. Huh? Yeah, I have to do it. Yeah. So the today's chief guest, I thank her, Antonia Rawaji, President-elect 2021, IFLA, International Federation of Library Association of Institution. I thank her for accepting the chief guest role in the present webinar. Professor J.P. Singh Jural, Director, Infolibinet. Thank you very much. I hope I will be able to fulfill your, the expectations. And Professor Uma Kanji Lalji, Pro Vice Chancellor, IGNU, Madam, speakers from various institutions. I know that wherever there have been the speakers from IITs and Ministry of External Affairs, AIMS, Ashoka University, BHU, Manipur Central University, and many more. I really thank all of them to be part of this program. And I know this program is being attended by various deans and head of the departments, various faculty members, and staff of the university. So I thank all of them to be part of this program. I was just listening to most of the the speakers who have spoken today. The library as such, I think, is a very, very important part of any institution. I was just thinking that the library is just as was there in some presentation. It is just not the the management of the books. It's not only the management of the books, but I just thinking that you also have a department of printing, right? Department of printing is there. When the printing started, the printing of the thing started in the year 1439. That's the way the printing machine was discovered. So after that, the multiple copies of the thing start coming up, and then maybe you have started the books, and then ultimately it end up in the management of the books, and that's what we're looking at the library. So the books were the media, right? The books were the media, and as as the many speaker has also told that now the media has changed, right? So that if I look at the what has happened in the 1990s, the new media, I will say, they start coming up. It start reaching the people. That is the internet, right? So in the 1990, we have the new media. So now it has become a media where everybody has the opportunity to contribute, right? Earlier you have the author, and then you have to go to the printer, and then print it, then you sell it in the market, or it is being given in the libraries. So now the media is different, that anybody is able to write, right? Anybody is able to write. So what I am pointing out is that when the media is there, you have more chances of misinformations, right? The books were there. Even I say the books were there, you can set a different narrative. We also sometimes say in this country also that we are taught wrong history, right? We are taught a wrong history. It may be correct or wrong, but whatever is written in a book, the other person can read it, right? So it is the author's narrative which he sets. Earlier, before the books, it was there only to one-to-one communication. There is a one-to-one communication when the people were or whatever the gurus that time was having the knowledge, and they were disseminating this knowledge through the context, right? The student has to come to the gurus, or I say the teachers place, and to have the knowledge, right? So it was questioning based. It was have a question based, because you have one-to-one correspondence only, so you can only get the truth, right? But when the book came, then you can take the book and you can read at home, and then whatever is written, you can read it, right? So the knowledge was gathered through the books. So that is through the media. So now the information is there, as somebody pointed out, it is through the Google, right? So you have the information, but you do not know which information is correct, right? So here comes I think the role of the libraries now, right? So that is the where the challenge is for the librarians. Librarians, which as I said, we cannot just keep on managing the books, but I remember, I don't remember, when I gone to the library last time, for studying, that is I go for for administration, or even for inspection or whatever, the way I look at the library, but is I see the students, sitting in the library as using them as a reading room, right? Reading room that is being used, right? But for the books, they want the reading room for the books to with the books. Now there is no place where they want to read the books of the library books, I will say, right? So that is now it's a challenge for the librarian that when you have a new media, and then you have to provide them the correct information, right, written by the scholarly authors, right, scholarly authors, and it is not by anybody, right? If you search something, it could be written by anybody and it may not be the truth, right? So then what you look at is that the live if I look at the Google is there, then there should be a search engine which is could only be for the articles written by the scholars, and obviously then you can know about the how this could author could be and how this narrative is set up. So it is I think the pedagogy which is going to be there for even for the learning is also going to be very different. As you know, in the COVID we have we are talking about the online education, and we are also talking about online. It's a complete 100% online courses. 100% online courses are in the 21 universities in the country. Even my university, of previous university, I will say that these were also has started complete online courses, right? So that's the way we're seeing that the even teacher is is just that way teacher is, I will say, replaced. It's replaced now. They will be communicating through the whatever the media we are using it today, even right in this webinar. So the pedagogy is which is going to be there is going to be quite different, and but it has to be I will say it has to be the inquiry driven. Inquiry driven should be there, right? Because if it is only the one way, then it is I don't think then will be able to impart a very good education, right? So it has to be inquiry driven. The students has to be made it interactive. Only then whatever the media we use, that's not a problem. We can use this kind of media we are using today, or we may be using other LMS or whatever. Saying that then unless until we make our student to inquire, that is, I will say, very important. So we will not be able to impart the right kind of education, because that's what I could see from the history, that before the 1400s, whatever the time period was, we were imparting our gurus were imparting the education, and we were uh, known to be the Vishnu Guru, and but suddenly things has changed, and we also lost so many things in that period. And as an Indian, I see that we also not able to cope up with the speed of the media. That's the way I will say. We have all these things now, but still we are dependent upon other countries, and all these things are known to us. All these we were having all this media. WebEx itself, I know it in the uh, it was there in, for example, in the 2006 or 7, even I think maybe they started, right? But we started using WebEx these Junes maybe only in 2020 or 1921. That's the way we are for it. When it comes to problem, only then we start using it. So we have to really make our library to be more, I will say, obviously tech savvy. I know the first the software which was become successful was only the library softwares, and librarians who start using the software successfully in the any education institution, and even the smallest institution is using the library software as an important part. And that's almost a compulsory now, right? But we are to now see that how we can provide information which is not a misinformation, I will say, which is not a wrong information, which is not a information which is driven information or information which is based on certain kind of you have been reading in even in the newspaper today's also or yesterday also there have been the so the social media has been misused, right? So that's if the social media has been misused, the information is also there in the social media also. So the equivalent to is, I will say, is the same way it can be for the knowledge also. That people are not given the proper knowledge. So that's way I look at that library. There is a big challenge for the librarian. And whenever a challenge is there, I will consider it as an opportunity, right? Because whenever the challenge comes, for example, COVID came, we have learned so many things. We have, we have handled it wonderfully, but we have, for example, there was many things which were not there in the country, and we have, for example, even vaccine. We have developed. The country has developed the vaccine. That's that's the thing we have to all the the mask was not given the PP kit was not given. So that is the the challenge came. It's considered as opportunity. We converted into, and the same way it is media has changed for the last 20 to 30 years, and we have to change accordingly in the library. That's what I see, and I could see from that this webinar and also you must have during their 30 days of this training program, you must have discussed all these things. And I see that when all this publication concept of publication has also changed. We have, for example, all maybe the many journals are online, and someday you will forget that there used to be a journal which was just published in the book form, right? So there could be the day that you will find that, and so that accordingly we have to think of the future. Accordingly, we have to change, and I hope we will be able to bring all these things to our library. And I really appreciate the way our Department of Library Science and all other colleagues joined together, including, for example, I see that. And Sharma ji was dean of other departments, and all other faculty members who have joined, and our IT people. I could see the computer center hosting it, and so I really appreciate this effort, and congratulate all of you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, sir. And you rightly said that we have to grow and we have to work together to make it more vibrant, this learning more vibrant. And we are very much assured that the way you have created wonders in your previous university, so maybe past is dear, but we are very much assured that the present is dearer to the past. So this university also will achieve new milestone under your leadership, as you have created excellence in your previous universities wherever you have worked. And we when I was reading about you, then I come to know that you are hailing from Yamuna Nagar, and from there you have started your journey, and you have come to us with Central University of Haryana. And you everywhere where you have been, and the friends who are in sciences, they have much appreciation for you. So it's a proud for us to have you as a vice chancellor. And excellence, we know it's an art born by training and habituation. And we don't act rightly because we have virtual excellence, but we rather have those because we have acted rightly. So we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And we know excellence is your habit. So we are very much confident that this university will create excellence in the field of academics and social outreach as well under your leadership. Thank you so much, sir, for joining the fraternity.
Thank you,
sir.
thank you.
Now, as any program can't be completed without the feedback of the participants, So as we are having very less time, so I will invite only two participants, one from resource person and one from student community. So first, it's my privilege to invite Mr. Sanjay Bihani, who is from the Ministry of External Affairs, for his feedback. Mr. Sanjay Bihani ji, are you there?
Thank you, madam. It's really nice to learn. I mean, I'm learning as a librarian of 35 years, learning every day. This program is really, I liked it very much. I was also a resource person last year when Dinesh ji shared his ideas about it, and I can really say that the students of Library and Information Science Department of the Central University is very lucky to have Professor Dinesh Gupta, who has a long association with the national and international professional bodies and everything. So the idea was good, and because every professional should work in different libraries, maybe a public library, university library, college library, a school library, or a departmental library, ministries library, or different. So they have several things in common and also several things different. So I think this is the best part of their training. I can say that physical meeting is really very important, and we love that. Everyone loves that. But due to pandemic, we can't do it in last 2 years. Even in IFLA, we are meeting virtually. In 20 days time, we will meet in IFLA World Library Council, first time virtually in history of 75 years. So but this program, particularly for the students, they, I think, got the best exposure and best, I mean, technology is available, best ideas available, best practical things available with the different resource persons. And I hope everyone is very happy to involve in this kind of initiatives. I don't know about others, but I am really very happy. I'm always interested to talk to the young people, not the, other people. So this is really, really very helpful. And I thank Central University, Dinesh Gupta, and all the students and participants. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your feedback. Now I invite Ms. Charu, student from AMLIC, for her feedback on the program. Charu, beta, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. A very good evening to one and all present here. Thank you for giving me the chance to share my experience about Summer Library Training Program 2021. First of all, I would like to thank our department for conducting such a well-organized training program. The training program was absolutely superb, and I genuinely enjoyed each and every moment of it. The content was extremely informative and incredibly useful. I also got an opportunity to know about the journey and experiences of the prominent speakers, which was very inspirational. The entire session was very informative. I hope all the students got guidance and gain knowledge. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Charu, for your crisp feedback. Thank you so much. Now, while we are ending the program, it's my pleasure to invite our Dean Research and Dean School of Interdisciplinary and Applied Sciences, Professor Neelam Sangwan, who is a very wide scholar and academician, and we are very happy to have her as a Dean Research. Ma'am?
Thank you so much. Am I audible, Dr. Renu? Dr.
Yes,
Renu, can you? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Renu, for giving me this opportunity. This is a very pleasant duty for me to propose vote of thanks today. Very good evening to all of you. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Tankeshwar Kumar, galaxy of distinguished experts with us, Dr. Antonio Araua, Professor Uma Kanjilal, Professor J.P. Singh Jurel, Professor Sanjeev Kumar, Professor Dinesh Gupta, Dr. Anand Sharma, Dr. Renu Yadav, deans, HODs, TICs, participants, faculties, staff members, and students. It's indeed my pleasure and privilege to propose a formal vote of thanks to everyone who contributed to make this program a grand success. The program on international webinar on sustainable library and information science education, and also as a valedictory program of the Summer Library Training 2021. I, on my own behalf, as well as from a School of Interdisciplinary and Applied Sciences, and on the behalf of entire CH fraternity, I thank you all for joining on this session of a valedictory session, as well as on in the international webinar. As this program, as you know, and we have heard from the previous speakers and previous experiences, this program is running for close to about 1 month, from July 1 to 31. That clearly shows that a lot of people have made very sincere and meticulous effort, and this is the time to acknowledge and thank all of them. So first of all, I thank our head of the family, head of our CUH family, Professor Tankeshwar Kumar, Chief Patron and Honorable Vice Chancellor of our university, for his presence, for his presidential address, and enlightening us with his kind guidance. His presence and support is source of motivation and enthusiasm for all of us. As sir, you have recently joined, I take this opportunity to heartily welcome you on the behalf of all the fraternity of the School of Science, and we wish you best, and we expect and we hope that under your dynamic leadership, our university will reach to the newer heights. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out your valuable time out of your very busy schedule. I thank Dr. Antonio Arahua, IFLA President-elect 21-23, for being the chief speaker of the valedictory program and also sharing her views on SDG and COVID pandemic in terms of opportunities and challenges for libraries. Dr. Antonio, your lecture was really very informative and very timely to the situation we are currently, in fact, in. This is the time where scope and opportunity of library information sciences have played a very big role, and your talk has highlighted such important aspects. Many, many thanks, Dr. Antonio.
Thank you.
Now I warmly thank Professor Uma Kanjilal, Pro Vice Chancellor, IGNOU, who gave the illuminated talk on skills and competency for new generation LIS professionals. It was really great opportunity to hear your thoughts, especially as you mentioned about re-engineering the system through AI tool, digital connection, and many more things. This is definitely useful, very useful for knowledge enrichment of our future professionals in library and information science. Many thanks to you, Professor Kanjiwal, for sharing your views with the audience.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Sangwan.
Now I put on my sincere thanks to Professor J.P. Singh, Joril, Director in FlipNet Center, for his address and highlighting in his address new teaching, learning technologies and resources during pandemic and after. Sir, your thoughts have enlightened not only our participants, but to all the faculties who are present here. And as you indicated about newer approaches and technologies, which will surely guide them in their endeavor in future, and probably that is going to be the our future. Many thanks to you for enlightening views, as well as your constant support to us for this webinar, as well as before that. Thank you so much, sir. I warmly thank all the esteemed resource faculty members from various organizations from all over the country and from abroad who have delivered expert lectures and guided the participants during the summer training program. The experts having very wide experience and vast exposure from different institutions. We are privileged to have them. And as I was watching, many of them are present here. Dr. Pal Pandian, Institute of Mathematical Sciences, Chennai, Dr. Lata Suresh, Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Dr. Nabi Hassan, IIT Delhi, Dr. Nihar Kanta, Patra, Manipur University, Mr. B.P. Prakash, Ashoka University, Mr. Sanjay Bihani, Ministry of External Affairs, Mr. P. Kanan, Implement Net Center, Dr. D.P. Tripathi, NIT Jalandhar, Dr. Sarvesh Pari, and Dr. Vimal Kumar, Mahatma Gandhi University Library, Mr. Prashant Srivastav, Dr. Shriram Pandey, BHU, Mr. Srivastav from AIMS, Professor Partha Sarthi Mukhopadhyay, Kalyani University, Dr. Abhishek Kumar from Inflipnet Center, Ms. Michaela Veganoli from Vienna, Austria, Dr. Shantanu Ganguly, AIMS, Dr. G. Mahesh from CSIR Headquarters, Dr. R.K. Das from IIT Mumbai, Dr. Christine Coons, associated with Florida State University. Thank you so much for your expert lectures and enriching our participants. Now I thank and also congratulate Professor Dinesh Gupta, convener, for conducting such a nice program and inviting renowned leading experts as resource personnel to talk about various important topics which are covered, covering the entire range of library information resources, maximization, digitization, and its utilization in sustainability. I thank entire organizing team who worked very hard under the leadership of Honorable Vice Chancellor and the convener, Professor Dinesh Gupta. Very efficient and very well managed team. Kudos to you for your great job. I thank all the members of our technical arrangement team, that is ICT team of the Central University of Haryana, and Amit Chevran for enabling everyone for swift online interactions and smooth conduct of the program. And any program cannot be perceived as a grand success this is evaluated by the active participation of its stakeholders, and here the faculties and the students. I present before you my deep sense of appreciation for participants, especially students whose consistent presence and interactive participation has made this program a big success. Therefore, I especially thank our students. Some of them were present here and convening some of the activities which they performed, and also gave the feedback, who have been participating in this summer activity and brought out very interesting compilations such as Umang and Gyan Jyoti and many other creative formats which exhibited their thoughts as well as talents. Once again, my heartfelt thanks to one and all who are attending this international webinar and valedictory program of the Sustainable Library and Information Sciences Education. Big congratulations to all of you. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you so much, Professor Sangwan. And I, Renu Yadav from School of Education, propose my vote of thanks to you as well, as you have joined us and has shown your gratitude towards everyone, because I believe that showing gratitude to someone is really difficult, and you have performed that task. So that's why we are really grateful to you. So now I will request everyone to please raise for the national anthem, and I will request IT team to play the national anthem. Everyone, please raise for the national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you so much, IT section, Amishwaranji, Sanjay, and all other who has wonderfully conducted this all ICT section. And I think now the program is over. If Professor Dinesh Gupta allow us, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Please.
Okay. So thank you so much, everyone.